So the story of ISC Gym Part 2. Thanks for everyone that tuned into Part 1. And thank you everyone for the really kind feedback. It was I didn't know so many people had interest in my career journey. It was yeah, I actually quite enjoyed doing it, reminiscing on my past. So for those that didn't tune in, Part 1 was a video that was about my career progression from leaving university and academic study to becoming the head strength and conditioning coach at a local, very reputable basketball academy, and kind of everything that went on in between, from dropping out of my master's at university to failed job interviews and applications, to lots of traveling, work experience, unpaid roles, working in a variety of sports, a variety of athletes, and yeah, the kind of like the fairy tale ending, which was getting to run my own strength and conditioning department and work with elite athletes on a daily basis. I certainly didn't expect it to be with under 19 high-level basketball players, but I absolutely love the position I'm in now. I've been doing it for a number of years, and I'm very, very privileged to be able to work with high-end athletes on a daily basis. And it's, like I said, it's kind of what I always wanted to do at the beginning, and I'm so thrilled that I've managed to get to that point and continue to be able to work with these athletes every day. But as I said a number of times in that video, there is a big chunk of my career that I have skipped out, and that is the creation, the running, the managing, the owning of ISC Gym. Now, ISC Gym has had many faces over the years. It's had many names. It's had a number of ethoses, a number of visions, a number of ways in which the gym is operated. And I had to kind of scroll through a bunch of old Facebook posts to kind of actually remember the date in which ISC Gym officially set up. And it was all the way back in 2013, which is, man, it seems like a lifetime ago because so much has happened. So before we kind of get started, and I'm going to probably have to split this video into a number of videos as well, because the story is just kind of so vast and so long. And like I said, the gym itself it's formed many different faces and many different ethoses along the way. And I think that's only natural as a trainer, as I've evolved and I've grown, as the gym has come with me. But I guess it's first, I need to say this, and I will obviously reference it numerous times as we go along, but for those that don't know, ISC Gym was not a sole effort. ISC Gym was not originated by me, and it certainly wasn't set up by me on my own. I started ISC Gym with my good friend Chris Lawson, and without Chris's hard work, dedication, and years of hours and hard work and dedication and commitment to the cause, the gym would not be where it is at today. So I just need to say that right at the beginning. Chris's name will pop up on numerous occasions, I'm sure. And I've asked him if he's okay with me kind of, letting you guys know that he was heavily involved in the creation of this. And I also want to say again, and I've said it many times to him and others, that I'm incredibly thankful for the hard work that he has put in, because without him, ISC Gym would not be here today. And he's a real huge part of Ipswich Strength and Conditioning and ISC Gym. So yeah, it was set up in 2013 officially, but ISC Gym originated back at the same venue in which I was running the strength and conditioning program within the tennis academy, which I spoke about in the last video. So that's where me and Chris kind of officially met. Now, we'd known of each other at numerous times on the kind of like the personal training circuit, as you do. Ipswich is unfortunately a very small place, and like I said, I'm not particularly well travelled. I grew up here and I ended up living here and end up working here. So you end up getting to know quite a few people within your industry. And it so happened that while I was working there at the tennis academy, Chris became a CrossFit coach and brought his CrossFit following and his PT clients to the same venue in which I was working at, and set up a mini CrossFit gym inside the same venue. And then we worked together for, I think it was about 10-12 months, crossing each other's path. We trained together, we had many afternoon coffee discussions, and that's where the discussion started. And I remember it quite well, that we would talk at lunchtimes about how, man, it would be cool to have our own facility. And I mentioned in the last video that it never really had been my career goal. But I think most personal trainers, most strength and conditioning coaches, and most people that work within this industry at some point or time have this vision of potentially owning their own facility, you know, where you get to make the decisions up. It's just super cool, the idea of like, right, man, I'm going to have the gym and I'm going to run it my way. So we had this discussion many times over coffee and in the cafe at the venue that we're at, over training sessions. And then over the course of these 12 months, I remember it vividly, is there was an opportunity to actually do it, to actually set up our own facility. And I remember Chris walking into the gym. I'd just finished with a couple of clients, and he came and had a discussion with me and said, so I think it's gonna happen. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I've managed to get some money together. Someone's going to lend us some money as some initial capital, and I've found a venue. I think I'm going to set up a facility, my own facility. But then he said, I don't particularly want to do it on my own, and I know that we've had these discussions about doing it together. If I do it, are you in? And rather than really kind of taking a step back, taking it all in, doing the kind of the pros and the cons, I just responded and said, yeah, I'm in, let's do it. And then it was quite a bit of a whirlwind after that. So I was still running, I still had a contract with this tennis academy, and I was still running that. So I actually remember the initial setup is Chris and a team of volunteers set it up, and I popped in now and then, but he was kind of he just kept me updated with, we've got this unit, we're setting up a few squat racks, they're all going to be homemade out of scaffolding. I've managed to get some weight plates and some barbells. Come down and have a look at it when you can. And I popped in sporadically, but yeah, you know, Chris and this team of volunteers put this small little gym together in a 700 square foot facility, and that is how ISC Gym started. So the original name was called CrossFit ISC, because I have to put my hands up, and people that know me, I'm not a CrossFit guy. I don't particularly enjoy doing it, and I never trained in it. I just don't get it personally. Don't begrudge anyone that does it, and of course I worked within a CrossFit gym. We were a CrossFit gym for years and years, so I understand CrossFit. I enjoy being around it, but I do get, you know, the mick taken out of me because it's not really my thing. So the vision was we were going to be called CrossFit ISC. Chris would be the CrossFit coach, and I would be the strength and conditioning coach. And what we would do is we would run a variety of classes that covered both. I would focus on writing a structured strength program to help people, you know, get all the benefits that strength training gives you, which is overall body strength, robustness, avoid injury. And then Chris would run a more circuit training CrossFit based program. And the idea is that then members and classes would get full of both of these, and basically people get the best of both worlds. And that was it. So after a little bit of work and these volunteers, you know, working weeks on end to kind of get all this, these squat racks designed and these scaffolding rigs kind of drilled into the wall and these homemade platforms made and the flooring put down, we had a gym, a tiny little gym with 4 squat racks and a little bit of space that was running classes, CrossFit classes and strength and conditioning classes. My contract ended with the tennis academy, and I came over, and that's what we did. The gym started. We started taking bookings for our classes via text message. We had a Facebook page launched up. We had a logo designed for us. We had some T-shirts printed, and the gym was ready to go. And that is kind of how it got created. And yeah, and I suppose that is part one of part two, if that makes sense. Is the gym was go. I think we had an open day in September of 2013. Book into a class for free, come and have a coffee, have a chat with me and Chris and see what it's all about. And over the next few months, and this was literally via a few Facebook posts, few text messages, and people referring their friends and bringing their friends across, the gym got super busy. So we ran classes from 6 a.m. all to about 8 p.m. We were busy in the morning periods, had a few lunchtime classes and then the evening classes, and we got really busy quite quick. like people seemed to really enjoy what we were doing, and I think the mix of classes really worked because Chris had this kind of CrossFit background, I had more of a strength and conditioning background. It just seemed to bounce off each other really well. We'd designed programs in advance. We'd had some whiteboards on the back which we put all the sessions up, and we really started to get this nice little community feeling, and it was really enjoyable. But yeah, really quickly we decided that we're too busy. I mean, this was only like a little 700 square foot facility. So if you compare that to what the gym now, for those that don't know, you're talking about like a quarter, if not, yeah, a quarter, just over a quarter of what ISC Gym is now. And we had classes of 8 to 10. It was getting a little bit crammed. We were having waiting lists on our booking system because, you know, we were getting full. So we moved from booking people via text, and we actually got an online website, and we're like, whoa, here we go. We're getting legit. Our logo's on the website. People can book online, but we were full. And we're like, well, what are we going to do? So we hired another coach. Oh man, I'm skipping a whole bit out here. So what we did is, in between this, I got my job at the local basketball academy, who have a small little fitness suite. So where I was delivering the strength and conditioning, man, this is bringing it all back. So when I was running strength and conditioning sessions for the athletes that I was working with, and there was a little gym there that could fit 4 or 5 people in at the most. And we were full at our gym, at CrossFit ISC, in our 700 square foot facility. So what we ended up doing, because myself and Chris both had personal training clients, so we're trying to fit personal training clients in and around our classes, which kind of meant that we had to be running them either super late after 8 p.m, during the day, or super early before our session started in the morning, or kind of fitting them around that. So what I did is I approached the sports centre and asked, could we rent this little gym facility after hours? They said yes. So that's kind of how the progression of ISC, or the first progression of ISC was. It was, we run our classes at this session, and then me and Chris would go do our personal training at this small fitness suite at the school in which I was delivering the Ipswich basketball S&C sessions. I hope that makes sense, because literally it's only just kind of come to me that's what we did. But that's actually quite a prevalent part of what Ipswich Strength and Conditioning's future will be, because personal training and personal programs and programming for the individual is a huge part of how the gym evolved from there. I'm just noticed it's been 12 minutes already, and I've just gone on a tangent. I don't want to make this a 20-minute video, so we'll look to end it there. So yeah, we'd made our first kind of step up, is that we had classes full. We'd had an online booking system, and then we started to move our personal training clients, so our individual personal training clients, to another venue. And to do that, we'd also started to bring another instructor in to help us run the classes while we were busy doing our other things, because at the same time I was running this, I'd got the job at the basketball academy as well. So yeah, that's that all happened within a really short period of time, probably about a year. We really built up really quick, got really popular, started to get some regular members coming, and it was a really, really good, fun community. Started to have a few socials with the guys that were turning up. It was, yeah, it was a really great first year of ISC Gym. So what I will do is I'll end this here, and we'll move on to the next video, which will be the biggest progression of ISC Gym, or then CrossFit ISC, is where we moved down the road on the business park. So we were in Unit 7. And then I think what a lot of people's fond memories of what we used to do is the big chunk of where we moved from Unit 7 to Unit 12 and 13. So we basically doubled in size. And I'll explain kind of how that came about in our next video. So yeah, sorry for waffling, guys, but I've actually really enjoyed reminiscing on that. And I'm sure there's things that I've forgotten and things that I'll miss. But yeah, I suppose the things that I'm trying to reflect on there is that from chats in a coffee bar about it potentially happening, and then all of a sudden taking a risk and it being, wow, I've got my own facility. This was not the goal, really. This was not the career goal. I imagined myself working within a football club in strength and conditioning, and now, yeah, I'm running a gym. And yeah, it was a whirlwind few months and whirlwind first year, but that was a lot of fun. And me talking to the camera here has actually brought back some really fond memories. So yeah, that's part one of part two. Thank you if you made it all the way to the end. Cheers. If not, apologies for being long. I'm going to stick this up all over socials. If you can give us a share, a like, a follow, any comments and below, that'd be awesome. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks again for checking in.